Our next our next perspective is one that is on film as well. Some of you may know, and some of you may not know, that in Hawaii there was a challenge registered long ago as to whether or not the Native Hawaiian people and Polynesian sailors actually were able to navigate the Pacific with a direction and a destination in mind, and to navigate with using the stars, the tides, the winds, the sun, birds as you got closer to land. And there was a challenge brought by reputedly Thor Heyerdahl, who said that Native Hawaiians and Polynesians could not have had the capacity to do that, to navigate the Pacific with a directional purpose in mind and achieve that outcome. And so there were some Native Hawaiian and non-Native people who got together and said, we're going to prove that is wrong. And with the help of the senator, and later with the help of the Sealaska Native Corporation, there was a replica of the first Native Hawaiian Polynesian voyaging canoe, an outrigger canoe that was built. With the help of the senator, I say, because he provided some federal funds for that purpose. And later, the first canoe was the Hokulea. And later, after many successful voyages, setting out for different islands and achieving the outcome of arriving at their destination, using only the most basic skills of sailing, no motor, only the elements to guide them. Native Hawaiian communities sought to expand upon that challenge, and they looked for more koa wood to build a second canoe, but there weren't any trees left of sufficient size to build a canoe. And that's when they came together with the elders of the Sealaska area. And the elders said, we want to give back to you that which you have done so much to inspire us. And so they blessed some trees, and they harvested them, and they shipped them down to Hawaii. And the second Polynesian voyaging canoe was built, called the Hawaii Loa. Since that time, these Polynesian voyaging canoes have sailed all over the Pacific, and they've reached islands where the native people had lost that art, had lost the ability to travel the Pacific in the ancient canoes. And this generated a revival and a strong desire to learn these skills. This year, in May, this month, the Polynesian Voyaging Society, which is the umbrella organization that has sponsored all of these trips all over the world, is initiating a worldwide voyage, going around the world in these ancient replicas of ancient canoes. It will take them 6 years, in part because of weather, in part because of the threat of piracy around the world, and other considerations. But these canoes will travel the world by the water. The principal navigator is Nainoa Thompson. D.J. Mailer referred to his father, Pinky Thompson, who was a contemporary of the senator and a great educator in Hawaii. Nainoa Thompson, his son, is the principal navigator. He was literally raised not only by his father, but under and with the strong friendship of Senator Inouye. And he wanted very much to be here today, but the canoe is sailing, and so is he. He did, however, take some time to answer some questions and share his thoughts about the senator. And this is a short video of Nainoa Thompson.
Well, we're been training for 6 years for our next voyage. And it's what? We'll be leaving in 18 days to start a voyage around the island Earth. We call it island Earth because from how I was raised here in these islands in Hawaii, and the recognition that there are boundaries. So the Hawaiian Islands is bounded by this enormous ocean that we call the Pacific Ocean, and the Earth is bounded by an ocean of space. And with the recognition that with all the optical power that we have to look into the whole universe very far away, 13 billion light years away, one thing we can't find is another planet that has life. So our island Earth is rare, it's special, it's unique, it's beautiful, it's fragile, and it has limits. And so we're looking at that, and so we treat it that way. This is the only island that we have to be able to live the lives that we do, so we recognize the importance to take care of it from that kind of cultural point of view. The senator is involved with Hokulea for at least 35 years, always in the background, always a support system. He, of course, he provided funding, but his participation was way beyond that much. And he was always there to support us who were young, who were actively trying to find our journeys in life, those that wanted to do the right thing for their home and for their people, primarily Native Hawaiian people. And he was there as a person that would hold us up when we felt weak, hold us up when we weren't clear, hold us up when we were absent of vision, and hold us up when we were afraid. He was always there believing in us and believing in the works of Hokulea, which was foundational to give us the strength to keep going. And so his impact on the voyages and their success is immeasurable. Because Senator Inouye gave us his courage, and he gave us his vision, and he gave us his sets of values that always strengthened us and kept us going. Immeasurable. Senator Inouye is, in many ways has been our great navigator. His support for us is, again, immeasurable. The larger question is why? Why would the senator that has a zillion things to do, would he be so supportive of the voyaging? Well, he talks about it, he speaks about it. And what's so powerful about it, it ends up at he's supporting values, core values, principles, beliefs. And what are the beliefs? To me, you have to go back and take a look at his childhood when he was raised here in Hawaii. When his Nisei and his the story, this very simple but powerful story of his grandparents in Hawaii, and both dying relatively young, and his mother, who was at age, I think, 4, was orphaned, and under very extreme poor circumstances, 4 years old, and it was a Hawaiian family that was the practice of hanai, that you adopt, that you bring in. Back then, there was no homeless children in Hawaii. It's not like you had to drive down the street and put your blinders up and ignore the tents on the sidewalks that we see now. That didn't happen. Every child in Hawaii was cared for. Every child in Hawaii had something to eat every evening. Even though when they hanai, a Hawaiian family now, it adopts a Japanese girl and takes her in, takes care of her. And that's the essence of aloha. That's the essence of what Hawaii is about. That's the essence what defines why over here is so special. And Senator Inouye knows that story deeply because his mother made sure he understood that when he became a senator, she said, one thing you need to be obligated to, that you take care of Native Hawaiian people. And I know it to be true because he told me so many times. And so that And so what are you taking care of, right? I mean, you're taking care of a race of people that die younger, that are less educated, that the ones who make less money, those that are expected to fail more and succeed less. That whole mental kind of image is the identity of Native Hawaiians, and he saw it, he grew up with it, and it's the deepest level of poverty in any society. It's when a whole culture of people that at one time was powerful, one time was rich, and was all taken away, and they end up with only one thing: feeling helpless, and feeling they have no way to go, no path. And these are great navigators. These are great people that forged an amazing 2000 legacy on this land, and then dealing with a chronic, deep level of depression that's associated with helplessness. That all the things that we throw at that depression sometimes doesn't work until Native Hawaiians can change their worldview of who they are by knowing where they come from, and change their worldview and their whole identity as being opposed to being depressed, opposed to being helpless, but being powerful. I believe that the senator was searching for the tools to do that. I think Hokulea was one of them. It was one of the tools that brought a whole new sense of self-worth and a whole new sense of powerful identity and a whole new sense of in the end, Hokulea, I think in the senator's minds, I heard him say it before, it's the light of hope. And so what the senator does for us, he galvanizes our resolve and belief that these canoes need to be sailed. And so the worldwide voyage, even though the senator is not with us today, but certainly that spirit is on that canoe. That spirit is what drives that canoe. That spirit is what empowers that voyaging canoe. And that spirit reminds us why we go.